Hey friends. So today we're going to talk about deodorant and why you might want to make it at home. So a little backstory on why we started making our own deodorant at home. We've been doing it for probably close to 10 years. I've been making our deodorant. And why did I even begin to do that in the first place? So I had started becoming aware of what was in the ingredients, what ingredients are in deodorant, and what I was being conscious about what I was putting on my skin. So I knew that I needed a better option, and the natural deodorants back then they didn't cut it, meaning they didn't make me not stink. Quite frankly, they just didn't work. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to make my own. And so I don't do too much DIY, but some things that are really super awesome, I do. And this has been clearly one of them. I made it for a long time. So I made my own deodorant, and I had been using it, and I was noticing that it was pretty awesome. It was doing a really good job at not making me stink. And my husband, he always called me a crunchy granola, and so this was really not a far stretch from the things that I was doing. And he told me one day, he's like, that deodorant that you made, he's like, that's the best deodorant I've ever used in my life. And I'm like, wait, you've been using it? That's awesome. He's like, it's the only I don't stink at the end of the day. He's like, this stuff is awesome. He's like, however, my pits are on fire. So clearly it was not pH balanced for him. And so I adjusted the recipe and made it so it was a little bit more sensitive for his sensitive skin. I just lowered the baking soda, and he's been using it ever since. He has never used another deodorant since then. So if you just jump on Google and do a quick search for ingredients in deodorant, dangers of deodorant ingredients, you'll find a wealth of information encouraging you to be aware of what's in your deodorant, or perhaps find a better option. Now, there are better options that do a decent job. However, I'm still super partial to my recipe. So what are some of the things in deodorants that you really need to avoid, and why? Aluminum compounds and parabens, those are both mess with disrupt with your hormonal balances, and they can, they interfere with estrogen and cause some wonky things like Serifs and triclosan and propylene glycol. All of those things, hormone balancers, they mess with your gut, your microbiome, and they're known carcinogens and have been linked to Alzheimer and certain cancers. So those are like really good reasons to find a different option, in my opinion. So one simple thing you can do to check your deodorant is grab the Think Dirty app on your phone and scan your deodorant, and it'll give you a rating, and it'll tell you why it rates a certain way, and what ingredients there might be causing it to be a poor option. So one thing, when I switched to the homemade deodorant, one thing I had to get used to was sweating. I previously was a antiperspirant user, and so I wasn't used to sweating. And that's one thing the aluminum compounds do, is they prevent you from sweating. This is a bad thing, y'all. I know we have all these beautiful shirts, and we do not want to be sweating through our shirts. And so there are options on the market that will that are better for you in those situations. My deodorant is just a deodorant, so I do naturally sweat. And I did find that when I switched, I sweat a lot, like profusely. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this how I am? Turns out that was just the beginning. And once I got used to it, I swell when it's hot, but it's not an issue. Our skin is our major detox pathway. We get rid of toxins to our skin. So we want to be sweating in our armpits. We want that stuff coming out. So how do you make deodorant at home. Y'all, it is super, super simple. So I'm gonna show you right here. I have in my bowl here, I have about 5 tablespoons of coconut oil. This is regular coconut oil that is solid at 74 degrees. So I had to melt it. And to this, I will add baking soda, 2 tablespoons of baking soda. So I will, oops. Guys, all of this stuff you can find at your grocery store or on Amazon. I'm not even kidding. This is like the easiest thing to make. Sorry about that. If you missed that, I added 2 tablespoons of baking soda. And so now I'm adding 5 tablespoons of arrowroot powder. All of this stuff you guys can find online in your local store. All right, this is 3. This is 4. And this is 5. And then the last thing I'm gonna add is bentonite clay. And this is really good at absorbing moisture, actually. It does a really good job. So maybe that's why I don't sweat as much since I started adding this. So 2 tablespoons of this. And then, okay, now just stir with a fork or a whisk or whatever you want. Just get it all mixed into your coconut oil and it'll be really wet. I mean, you could use it right now, I guess, if you wanted to, but I like to let it set up. And this time of the year in Phoenix, it's cooler, so it'll set up quicker. But in the summer, it kind of takes a little bit longer because it's warm here. But what I do is I put it in my bathroom, and then as it starts to set, it will start kind of separating. The oils will kind of separate from the baking soda and everything else. So I just have like a little stick in there and I stir it as I happen to go in there. And by the end of the day, it's all incorporated and mixed in. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to add a couple heroes. So I call these my heroes. I add a couple heroes to my deodorant because I like to kick it up a notch. This one's particularly thick, and so I'll tuck that right there. But I love frankincense. Frankincense is amazing at keeping healthy cells healthy and happy. And so I add a several drops of that. Here's sacred frankincense. I'll add just as many of those. I'm just looking for like 5 to 10 drops or so. I love cedar wood. Cedar wood is very grounding. It calms the mind. So I like some of that. And Endoflex, which is great for supporting our endocrine system. So all of those hormones. So I'll just shake a couple of those in there. And then lavender. You can't go wrong with lavender. So I'll add a couple drops of that. I'm not doing anything like magical. And then vetiver is super grounding. I love it. And so this is a new one. There we go. But it is very, like it's a viscous oil. So this might be a minute while it drips out. So anyway, so from here, I'm going to pour it into, see there's a little bit of deodorant left. Y'all, this is going to last you like weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's pennies to make. And oh, this isn't coming out. All right, well, we're gonna do without vetiver this time. This will last you for weeks and weeks. It's pennies, and it is the best deodorant I've ever used. I love it. So you certainly don't have to add any oils to your deodorant at all. It's not necessary. I like getting oils on my skin when I can, to take advantage of the therapeutic benefits. So for now, I'm going to dump it into the container here, which I'm sorry you can't see, but I will show you the finished, I don't know why my screen keeps dropping down or darkening up. Okay, guys, here we go. So you can see it's really liquidy, and this will firm up into a paste, and the way that you put it on is you simply just get a little bit on your finger and then you stick it in your pits, warm it up if it's the winter time, and then rub it in like a lotion. And in the summer, it'll be real soft and not gooey like this, but a paste, and you can just rub it in like a lotion. So I hope you learned something new today, and I hope you try it. Please give it a whirl. It is so simple to make with simple ingredients that you can find at your grocery store or on Amazon or online. So give it a whirl, change out your deodorant, and change your life. Have a great day.